Hey everyone, what's up? How are you doing? It's the festive season, it's the holiday period, and at this time, many folks are thinking about getting into holiday mode. Your brain is switching into holiday mode. Maybe you have some traveling planned. And let's be honest, when you're traveling, your brain switches into what I call holiday mode, which means your guard is down, you're rushing through airports, you're clicking links, you're connecting to Wi-Fi, are sometimes things named free airport Wi-Fi without thinking twice. And hackers, they love that version of you. So today we're talking about travel cybersecurity. Simple, practical things you can do to stay secure while you're traveling this holiday season without turning your vacation into a full-time nightmare. Because let's face it, vacations are meant to be memories, not mental stress. And this time of the year is one of the busiest travel periods of the year. So people do a lot of traveling leading up to the Christmas and New Year holidays, sometimes internationally, going to see family, going to see friends, and we do things that put us at risk of being breached. So here are the things you can do to keep yourself safe while you're traveling this holiday season. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for watching another one of my videos on this channel. I release videos every week talking about how you can keep yourself secure, how you can build a career in cybersecurity. I also release a podcast, the CyberSec Migrant podcast, which you can check out as a playlist on this channel, where I interview individuals who have successfully built a career in cybersecurity, most of them immigrants. And if you want to get some inspiration about cybersecurity careers, that would be a great place to start. And now let's get into this video. First up, airport Wi-Fi. It's always convenient, mostly free, and sometimes sketchy. And that's the problem. The problem is hackers can and have been known to create fake Wi-Fi networks that look legitimate. They've got the same name as the airport Wi-Fi. Sometimes they've got a stronger signal than the airport Wi-Fi, and there's zero safety. So they tempt you, lure you in to connect to that network. And once you connect to that network, they can monitor your traffic, they can steal your credentials, they can inject malicious pages onto your devices as well. So here are some golden rules when you're traveling through airports, airport Wi-Fi, plane Wi-Fi, train Wi-Fi, whatever free Wi-Fi you find outside, be it in the mall, on the airport, wherever you are, while you're traveling, as long as you don't know the origins of that network, you don't know how to know who set it up, where it's coming from, and it's a free one that's available to the public. Here are some golden rules. 1, do not log into any of your banking apps at all. Your money is a lot safer if you don't than if you do. Because if you do, there's a higher risk of your credentials being stolen. Second thing, if you're working on the go, please do not access work systems. Because again, there can be an opportunity for hackers and malicious actors to infiltrate your work network. You don't want to be the one that's responsible for your work getting breached. And thirdly, if you can, please don't shop online. Because again, when you shop online, you're going to have to put in your credit card details or your banking information, and that can be stolen. So please do not shop online with free public Wi-Fi if you can help it, just to make sure that you're safe. But if you must use public Wi-Fi, here are golden rules that I always say if you must use public Wi-Fi. 1, stick to browsing only. Nothing more than browsing. Anything beyond that, get off public Wi-Fi. 2, stick to only HTTPS sites, so sites that have a secure connection. You know that little padlock we used to see on the top left corner of the address bar of the browser? Yes, that. Although Google recently changed that, so it's not a padlock anymore. You see 2 lines and the sort of pseudo hamburger menu. That's what you want to see. Click on that and you can know if it's secure. If the site isn't secure, please get off the site. Because the fact is, public Wi-Fi is for killing time and not for handling sensitive business. So if you must, stay off public Wi-Fi. Now, I know people have said something about using VPNs when you're working remotely, and that's great. A VPN can help, but it is not a magic invisibility cloak. What a VPN does is it encrypts your traffic, it protects you from basic snooping, but a VPN cannot protect you if you click a phishing link, if you download malware, or you log into a fake website. VPNs have zero chance of protecting you from any of those. So here's my rule of thumb. I always say to people, your cellular data is a lot better than your public Wi-Fi. because roaming may cost a bit more, but breaches cost a lot more than roaming fees. You'd be better off paying for roaming fees than paying for the cost of a breach. And if you use a VPN, please use a reputable VPN, but don't treat a VPN like a silver bullet that solves all your problems because you're on a VPN. A VPN doesn't solve every problem. Yes, it encrypts your traffic, it protects you from snooping, but if you do silly things while you're surfing the internet, your VPN is not going to protect you. Now, here's something else I find a lot of people doing a lot. It's SIM swapping. You go to a new location, but because you don't want to incur a lot of fees from your local provider back home, you buy a local SIM and you take out your old SIM, putting your new SIM in there for the use while you're in that new location. The truth is, many people don't think about SIM swapping because, again, it's my phone number, it's always there, I always have it, I know it. But you forget that your phone number is the master key to many password resets, many MFA codes, many banking alerts. So when you travel, criminals know that you are likely to change your SIMs and you may lose signal and you may not notice immediately. So in the process of moving out SIM card from one device to the other, you lose the ability to get information in real time, sometimes instantaneously, and that can be a risk. So what do I say? 1, protect yourself. How do you do that? Set up a PIN with your mobile carrier on your SIM card so no one can just swap out your SIM or use your SIM card without your authorization. Secondly, put a lock on your carrier account. That account you log into to view your account details with your billing, your usage, all of that. Put a lock on that account, because if you lock that, then it's a lot harder for anyone to steal that information. And thirdly, and this is something that I find very interesting about a lot of people, don't post your travel details publicly in real time. I'm going to the Bahamas, and you post it 2 days before you go to the Bahamas. Why are you doing that? That's an invitation, an open invitation to someone coming to rob your place while you're away. So instead, wait till that trip is over and done before posting about it, if you must post about it. Because the truth is, if your phone loses service, that's not jet lag. It could be somebody legitimately trying to steal your information. Now let's talk about our devices while you're traveling. Device security. That's very important because, again, this day and age, we're all focused on mobile devices. They are now our portable treasure chest that they contain everything about us. Our banking information, our healthcare information, our PII, all of that. And I know what it's like these days. When you lose a phone, it's like losing yourself. Because that's how important those little devices have come to being a part of our lives. So here's some basic travel hygiene when you travel with devices. First, enable full disk encryption on your device, be it your mobile phone, be it your tablet, be it your laptop, and that's something you can do. On the Windows, it's BitLocker, for example. If you're on a Mac, I believe it's called 5-volt encryption, but that encrypts your disk such that even if someone steals your computer, takes out the disk and puts it in a different device, they are prevented from reading the data on that disk. So encrypt your travel devices. Make sure you use very strong pins or biometrics to lock your devices, because a biometric is so secure. Think about it. How many people have the same fingerprint as you? It's almost nobody else. It's very unique. That's why they use it as a means of identification. So if you can use biometrics, eye scans, fingerprints, or if you must use a pin, a longer pin is better than a shorter pin. So a 6-digit pin always beats a 4-digit pin. It's just common mathematical sense. And also, and I know many people don't do this, which I find very interesting. Your device is able to lock after a short period of inactivity. What's the shortest possible time your device gives you to auto lock? Use that. Is it 5 seconds? Is it 15 seconds? Use that. You know the pin. You're the one who set up the device. You've got the biometrics. You can easily unlock it. But you don't want to risk your device getting into the wrong hands in a short time and then they'll be able to access all your device. So make sure your device is set to auto lock after a short period of inactivity. And I can't stress this next point enough. Please never leave your devices unattended when you're in public or while you're traveling. It's easy for them to get swiped. So never leave your devices unattended. Always pay attention to them. Don't use public USB charging stations if you can help it. Juice jacking is a real thing. So please don't use public USB charging stations. You're better off having a power bank or your own charging brick, because it's small, it's easier, and you trust that source. You don't want to plug in your device somewhere and it gets infected with malware or all your data gets stolen. And be careful when you're in public because a lot of people shoulder surf. So be very aware of your surroundings so that people aren't shoulder surfing and stealing all your data as you go through that travel space. And still speaking about data, make sure you are minimizing your data as you travel. So, you know how they say travel light is the best way to travel? Yep. Traveling light digitally, it's also a good way to travel. And that's the mindset shift we should adopt. Don't travel with data you don't need. I mean, ask yourself, do I really need to take this file locally, or can I access it securely from the cloud instead? Because if you can access it securely from the cloud, then all you need is connection to the cloud. You don't need your entire device. And that keeps your device safe if it's locked up back at home than if it's at the risk of being stolen from an airport or a train lounge or a public cafe or something. And here's another tip. If there's an app you don't need while you're traveling, log out of the app. Your banking apps, your 401ks or your RRSP accounts or your investment accounts. Do you need to be accessing them every single day while you're on holiday, while you're traveling? You probably don't. So please log out of those apps if you don't need them. And if you have any sensitive documents on your devices, I would suggest removing them if you can, because you don't know who's going to get the risk of, you don't know how much the risk of that device getting into the wrong hands is. Someone can get access to that device, or you could be stopped at the border and they actually go through your device. You don't want them seeing the things you don't want them to see. You don't want them going through your personal sensitive documents. So if you can, remove sensitive documents from your device. And where you can, use a separate work and personal profile on your device. So if you have a profile, put up a different profile that is easily accessible, has no sensitive information, and that keeps your other data safe on a more secure lockdown profile, because less data means there's less damage if something goes wrong. It's just common sense. And then finally, this holiday season, as we travel, as you do all of those things, make sure you are doing all your bookings, or your payments, or your reservations on a secure site. So watch out for things like fake airline emails, or an urgent booking issue message, or a hotel confirmation scam, because those are things that happen a lot at this time. Holiday season is fishing season after all. So what are the best practices? If you want to book a service, a train ticket, an airline ticket, a bus ticket, a pass, whatever it is, make sure you book directly on official websites. Never click a link that is sent to you in a sketchy email. Go to the official website, whatever the airline website is, .com, .net, whatever it is, .aero, and book on that site directly. Don't book through a link, because again, that link could be infected. It could be a scam. It could be a link through a man in the middle, and you don't want to risk your data getting stolen. Always double check the URLs when you click on anything. Before you go into any website, once you look at it, look in the address bar of the browser. Is that what you're expecting to see? Do you actually see Microsoft.com? Or do you see a Microsoft.com? You want to be sure that the address is right. If you must pay for anything while you're traveling, don't use a debit card, use a credit card. Because a credit card offers you better fraud protection than a debit card does. With a credit card, if there's some fraud, you could go back and complain to your card provider. They can block the transaction, all of those. But with a debit card, once the money is gone, it's gone. So for better fraud protection, use a credit card and don't use a debit card. Because the truth is, if a deal feels too good to be true, it probably funds someone else's vacation. And you don't want to be the person who's funding someone else's vacation for no absolute reason. Now here's some few rapid fire tips, the final tips before we board. Don't post that I'm away for 2 weeks in real time, like I said. Turn off unnecessary location sharing. And make sure you keep copies of your travel documents securely stored. Your passport, your visas, your credit card photos, all of that. Keep them securely stored somewhere. Copies of those. Because again, people have been known to lose their passports or lose those documents while traveling. At least if you're going to make a complaint to the embassy, to the High Commission, to the police, whatever it is, you want to be able to show them and say, this is what is missing, this is what I'm looking for. But if you don't have a copy of it, how then are you going to show that? So make sure you're keeping copies of all your travel documents securely stored, preferably a copy in the cloud or a different copy in a different part of your carry-on or your baggage or something. So there's a copy you can always fall back on if you need to. And on all your devices, enable Find My Device. So that way, if it gets missing, if it gets stolen, you can start to track it virtually immediately. And finally, and this is very important, I can't stress it enough, have a plan. Make sure that if your device is lost or stolen, you know how to remotely lock and wipe that device fast. Many of us have devices we don't know how to use remote wipe or remote lock once it's stolen. So make sure you know the process of remotely locking and wiping your device, so that in the event that you need to do that, you can do that as quickly as possible to keep your data safe. That is very, very important. So make sure that as you travel, you're making good memories, not bad memories. Malware isn't ruining your vacation that should be memorable. If you remember nothing else from this video, just remember these 4 tips. Avoid public Wi-Fi for all sensitive stuff. Protect your phone number at all times. Don't let it get into the wrong hands. Make sure you're securing your devices, either with a biometric or with a PIN, but make sure that the only one who has access to your devices is you. And where you can, travel light digitally. So don't take all the data around with you that you don't need to. It's better to keep it safe in the cloud and access it securely than lugging around a huge data trove for someone who can get access to it. If this video helped you, if you like this video, share with somebody you know who's traveling soon, who might need to use all of that information and that help to help them as they navigate the vagaries of traveling. And let me know down in the comments below, what is your biggest travel concern? What keeps you wondering, am I going to be safe while I travel this season? Safe travels, everyone. Have a fantastic Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And make sure you stay cyber safe and smart wherever you are, and I will catch you soon.